Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Ah,
Hello.
we are back. We have returned after a long break, after
Yep.
hibernation.
Sorry if I left anyone hanging the other week. We ended up with some friends coming down from Alaska.
So we didn't take down the announcement that there was going to be an episode, and we had some people show up. Sorry about that. But we're back. I was out. I was traveling. I guess we'll start the episode for real. Then I'll talk
Sounds
some about that. Okay. Boy, I've been out of practice so long. I don't know what I'm doing here. What is the date? December 4th. I got to update my notes. I got to all kinds of things I haven't done here. All right. Let's go in 3. How does this even work? Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 633 for December 4th, 2022. Good morning, John.
Good morning, James.
We took a long break that was necessary because I was out of town for most of that.
Quite out of town. Very much out of town.
I was in Japan with my family, visiting relatives and friends there. We had been trying to get over there for, well, years. Had originally planned to go, I think, in the fall of 2020, and of course everything shut down, and
Right.
they weren't even allowing foreigners into the country until recently. So finally managed to get over there and spent a couple of weeks. And then let's see. John was asking me if there's any Macintosh related adventures I got into. I wasn't planning to. I did walk around Akihabara for a while, but I didn't seek out any retro stores. Just didn't have the time.
Sure.
But something did sneak up on me. We were in Kyoto for a few days, and there was a museum that was advertising around town that they had a big Andy Warhol exhibit.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And it didn't even occur to me. Didn't occur to me what I might see there. I was just thinking, my wife's really the Andy Warhol fan, and so I was just tagging along. But and they had a fair amount of items on loan from they call it the warehouse in Pittsburgh. But I'm walking through the aisles there, and lo and behold, what do I see but the
right.
Macintosh logo that he drew.
He did a couple of different versions of this too, right?
A couple of
Where the
different
colors
versions.
were slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We did a show about it, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll redo that because I'm foggy as to like how many iterations, like what were the circumstances.
Sure.
He was known for doing different corporate like logos and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, and we all know this, like the Campbell soup cans
Very
and that.
neat.
And there also is a story that involves him and Steve Jobs when the Macintosh came out. I'm pretty sure we've told that story, but we can revisit that in a future episode. And you and I, do you remember that? We were
at Macworld,
we found ourselves
right?
in the presence of one of the originals, at Macworld. So I have to dig that photo up. But
yeah, because it'd be interesting to see if this was the same. Happens to be the same one. If the colors match up.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good look at it. And somewhere I think I have a poster. I think I have I know I have a mouse pad. But yeah, there it is. So that was a nice, pleasant surprise. So, let's see what's going on today. We're going to go through some eBay finds, and we're going to take a look back at December 1992 in Macworld magazine, see what was going on back then. And some news, lots of things to catch up on. So we will be back right after this. Aha. So I'm looking through. Oh, Sharks has an auction for a framed print recently.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
nice. I guess at that size too, probably. Yeah. Yeah, I think you can get prints. And then, there are lithographs and numbered editions, and of course the originals. And I don't know what the originals, but we'll have to again spend some time looking into the history of this. See all the different flavors. Okay, that's right. Sometimes the Mac finds you. That's absolutely right, Chris. What a nice surprise too, right? You're just not even thinking about it. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, of course. How can I? It was better that way. It was better that I totally had forgotten about the relationship, because had I thought about it, then I'd be like, I wonder, and then I'd be disappointed if it weren't there, right?
It's like not going to see a movie and not knowing all the cameos that are going to be there.
Right.
It's a nice surprise, right?
Right. Yeah, Sharks. I guess it's 2 by 2 feet with the frame. That looks about what this is. Okay, we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna go over to eBay finds. Oh, and thanks for everybody for remembering us this week. Not just giving up, say, well, it's been a month.
Yeah.
I've
I was
had
like,
enough.
ooh, I wonder how many people are going to show up after I ditched everyone. But it's pretty cool that Sharks has a framed print of that Warhol. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I need one. I mean, if I don't already, I don't know if I have a full size frame, but that certainly needs to be on my wall if I can find the space. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. It's time for eBay finds. Last we chatted, we had 4 auctions, right? We had a special bonus auction, and there was that Daystar Digital, that weird P33 from 1987. It was like some crazy, crappy PC case that had Daystar hardware in it. That one sold for $182.50 after 18 bids.
Wow.
Yeah, and the Plus, the Macintosh Plus, that was retrofitted with what did it have? A computer in there of some sort, an Intel-based motherboard, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they had put a new display and had keyboard and mouse. Anyway, try to convert it into it was a 2012 Mac Mini guts that were stuck in there. Anyway, that one sold. It didn't sell for $1,200. It sold for a best offer.
Okay.
Whatever that was.
Who knows, right?
Maybe the best offer was like, a Cuisinart and a haircut. We don't know. We just
as long as it wasn't a haircut with the Cuisinart. So.
Oh yeah. You got to read the fine print. Yeah. And the sign, the Think Different sign, they combined the Think Different with the Modern Tectura Apple computer sign.
Yeah.
Not very.
No.
What's the word? Just didn't
authentic?
Match, right?
Right.
Well, certainly not authentic, but also just sort of disjointed, I think is the word I want. Still available. Buy it now, $1,895, or you can make an offer. And then we had the bonus auction, which wasn't that one. Let's see. It's this one.
That's right. That
accelerator, the Brainstorm accelerator. Right. Holy smoke.
Yes.
You want to venture a guess?
I do not.
What's the conversion rate on Australian dollars right now? Because it sold for Australian dollars, 385 Australian dollars, which
All right, hang on a second.
is still in the hundreds. I mean,
385.
it's pretty darn close, the exchange rate. So
900 and wait. So you said
that's not right.
385. Hang on. I threw an extra one on the front.
10
264.
264, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this must be hard to come by. Okay, Trina needs a link to the sign. Are you going to buy the sign right now? Here, I'll post it right here. Okay. Oh, see what it did? It split it into two different things.
That's weird.
Let me try it a different way. Let me see if I can get a small little
one of those tiny
let's
URLs.
Let's see if I can try it. Here, that's better. There's one.
Trina also mentions that 353 Canadian dollars.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Australian.
So, and what is that in lira? They don't use
lira those
anymore.
Big stone coins with the holes in the center.
Okay, we'll begin this week with a set of pins, this button pin things from the System 7 era. It's a full set.
Nice. These are
pins.
Cool.
7. Yeah, there were 7 pins and 7 reasons to choose Mac System 7. So, they're fairly simple in design, just a white kind of background, and with each one showing a little Black Apple logo, the one word reason to choose System 7, and then a little illustration illustrating that word.
Now, all right, so you got one innovation, 2 power, right? What is the little creature that it's the 2 there with the
I don't. Yeah. So the illustrations, they look like numbers.
Make a number.
Or somehow. Well, except, I see. Opportunity has a 6 on it. So yeah. So innovation is 1, and it has what is that one? It's just is that a bunch of ants carrying a big number 1? What is that?
No.
It's a chip.
It's a chip.
It's a chip. That's right.
Yeah.
It's a chip. Okay, and power is a 2, and you say, what is the 2? Well, he's flexing his muscle. The number 2. He's got
looks
a cigarette
like
in his mouth.
Trogdor. Are you familiar with Trogdor?
I am, and I'm taking something for it.
Seriously, if you do an image search on Trogdor, it's a little like serpent creature with muscly arms.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
maybe that artist
synergy with the with 3 guys. Is that the but the little there's a little like light bulb above them. Is that the Newton light bulb?
No, it's similar.
Okay.
It's not.
All right.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of that. 4 is compatibility, and it's got a bunch of wrenches, I guess, forming a 4. Versatility is 5 with network computers.
Networked computers/printers.
Yeah.
Right.
Opportunity,
6
because opportunity knocks. Haha.
Right.
And then excitement is 7, and it's got a gift in the shape of a 7. Yeah. Anyway, these pins, there's the back of them. They what is the size? Say the size. I don't know. Oh, there they are. 1.73 inches in diameter.
All right.
System 7, of course, launched in 1991 and went to 1997 before Mac OS 8 came out. So what would you pay for these? Well, they want $120 for the set.
I mean, it's... I think it's fairly reasonable. I mean, have you ever seen these before? They are definitely a thing of Apple from a specific period.
Yeah.
I could see these going. I do think they should have probably put a best offer, perhaps, to absolutely make sure they sell. But
I think they would look great if you mounted them on some kind of display.
Right, with including a System 7 box.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Then you could really turn this into something. But yeah. Well, cool. All right. What do we got next?
Next up, we have not 1, but 2 Apple Macintosh Quadros 950s. So these are the nice big servery sort of cases that have the keys. Unfortunately, this one has had one of the keys has been broken off in the lock. Um, they've been in storage for what does it say 20 years. These gems were in the unit. Unfortunately, one of the keys was bent sideways. Tried to wiggle it out and key broke, but it still turns. Both of them power right up. That's all the testing that the seller has done. So they're selling it for parts only. Both are overall in good condition. No broken plastics. Let's hope it stays that way. And please see all pics and feel free to ask questions. Will be shipped via FedEx ground. Uh, some case yellowing, as you can imagine, where like the part that on the side is not yellowed at all, and then the front plates are yellowed. That's kind of a standard for these. One has a tape backup in it. The other does not. And what else can we say?
I like that this was. I don't know if you've ever watched those shows where they
the
auction
storage
off
wars.
storage units. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
They buy these storage units. They open the door. They look inside. They can't go inside, and then they bid on it. And so this was like one of those situations where somebody just bid on a storage unit, and buried in there were these two 950s. Pictured also in this are some cool old Apple II era manuals. I don't know if those are
the
included.
Apple IIc user's guide.
Yeah, so maybe this person has other auctions.
Or maybe that was the other Apple stuff that was found in there. Let's see. Let's see other items.
I'm looking. There's a Quadra 650 that they're selling.
Okay.
That was in that storage unit as well. That's all I see listed right now. So anyway.
All right. Well,
but,
so right now this has 15 bids already, $510. And looks like this ends in 2 days, 8 hours, so ending on Tuesday. These are located in Bladensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
All right.
And Steve Mac 84 is pointing out. Let's see if we can. This book on the top is an interesting. The spiral bound one. It's got like a black and white and blue.
Some
interesting.
I think I've got a copy of one it's got a black and white cover like that. I'll have to look on.
Is that the same picture as the one to the left here?
Yeah.
Or, no, that's just the inside cover.
It's the same.
It's the inside page. See, the cover is folded back. I want to say it's just a similar.
Yeah, maybe mine's missing the cover because I swear I have one that's got the black and white picture on the front like that.
Oh, really? Yeah, because it looks like the cover is folded back here.
And then the one below it is an actual Apple.
Yeah.
I think
Apple II AppleSoft manual.
Manual,
I think.
And then the Apple IIc user's guide is a third party.
Right.
Yeah, can't quite make out what's underneath that. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway. Yeah, that'd be fun to buy a storage unit. Just have old Macs in there.
No, that's not Woz on the cover. It is a bearded gentleman, but it's not Woz.
It's an imposter. Okay, and we'll conclude with this one. There's actually a tie-in to the news later, which you'll find out later. The title is Vintage Apple Macintosh Rainbow Logo Canvas Tote Bag Macworld Convention Swag. And the description says, doesn't say anything more than that. We don't even get a year, but pictures, we get this.
This is definitely Apple II era. Because remember the Apple II poster that had the grid in the background?
Yes, that's what it evokes.
Yes.
But they say Macworld Convention, but obviously this must predate Macworld.
I think it predates it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also got the kind of saggy butt Apple logo. Where one cheek is narrower than the other. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the 6-color Apple logo on that grid, like a piece of graph paper, much like that poster.
Yeah.
On
the
canvas
colors
bag.
are really nice on this. This beautifully done. This had to have been a screen print too, as opposed to like print. This would have been pre that. So these had to have been silk screen.
Yeah, they got some nice detailed photos of here. You can really see the quality here. And and a little wrinkly, but I think you could steam that out, and I think this would look sharp. There's not really any stains or rips or anything.
The canvas
Looks
looks
kind
nice
of
and clean
new.
itself, right?
Yeah,
Pretty.
yeah,
I like it. I like it.
nice. And what do they want for this? Oh, well, $120 is the starting bid, but there is a make an offer.
Okay.
And this one ships from Cedarville, California. So we'll find out next week. Okay. All right. We're going to take a look at
Macworld.
Macworld. Let's see if I can share a window here. Well, what happened to it? I closed it at some point. Okay, there. We're bringing it back. Here we go. Okay. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Way back in December 1992, the big story was hot new PowerBooks. Hot new PowerBooks in Macworld magazine. On the cover, pictured on these little pedestals there, you've got the Duo dock with the PowerBook Duo 210. You have the 230. You have the Mac 2VX, and then the PowerBooks 145 and 180. Lots to choose from here. So the hot new PowerBooks are lighter, faster, affordable, built-in video, and revolutionary docking stations. So let's dig into this a little bit. Let's see, what do we want to talk about? I want to pull up my notes here. Actually, first up, they're advertising for PowerPoint 3.0. It's so funny to look at what was the hot new features 30 years ago in PowerPoint. Now, they're already up to 3.0, but they're adding such cool things as shape tools. You can now draw
Guys, you can make
rectangle. Yeah.
Right.
Right? Can you imagine there was a time in PowerPoint when you couldn't? Well, I mean, that must be pretty limiting, right?
Sure.
You couldn't even draw a basic shape. And you can see they also were touting the ability to make sharp-looking overheads and 35 millimeter slides.
That's, man.
Because, we just didn't really have projectors back then. Well, we had overhead projectors. We didn't have the video projectors like we do today. And then I wanted to go to page 21, where there's an ad from TechWorks. Where will your Mac be 5 years from today? And they've got got a picture of some old junk like in a garage or something, and sitting on that is actually, I guess it's like a yard sale, because there's a Mac Classic with a piece of masking tape on the monitor that says make an offer. And they want to make sure that your old Mac doesn't get relegated to the make an offer table at your garage sale. So they're selling their TechWorks accelerators. And oh my gosh, how many people bought 68040 accelerators for their SE or Classic?
Right.
Because they sold them
for.
Oh no, actually, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, they didn't. I'm looking at they got 4 lines. So no, they got it's for the LC and new bus Max. So yeah, so they sold but they did sell a 40 megahertz 030 for the SE for $850. But for new bus Max, so those would be your Mac 2s or something, you could get a 33 megahertz 68040 for $1,895. So yeah, I remember TechWorks. They sold memory upgrades and yeah. When I first saw this, I saw SE on the left, and I read all the way across or Classic. I thought, oh my gosh, there were 040 accelerators. I didn't remember 040 accelerators for Classic Macs. Of course, there weren't. I was reading the chart wrong. Let's go to page 25 and look at the news. The late breaking news. Not a lot of good. Remember, this is 92. We're we're at the beginning of the near end here for Apple, and they were recalling PowerBook 100s because Apple said there was a possibility of a short circuit that can melt a small hole in the bottom of the computer's case.
It's a feature, not a bug. Right.
And it's this tiny little blurb here. Can you imagine if that would happen today? If Apple had to announce like your MacBook would catch on fire and burn a small hole in the bottom of it? I mean, oh my gosh.
But also on this page talking about the start of the downfall, the Apple cutting retail prices.
Yes, I did want to mention that.
Yeah.
Steep cuts on all the various models, but think about this: they were cutting the 900 or the 950. We were just talking about that, right? And the eBay finds the 8/400, so the 8 MB 400 MB hard drive version. They were cutting it down to $8,169.
Yeah.
That's like $17,000 in today's dollars.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Right. That's I mean, you could easily buy a new car for that, for half that back then. And they were shutting the Fremont plant, which was one of the original Macintosh plants, and laying off 345 workers. So, yeah, there's a few indicators here, right?
Oh, wait. What's the one right below that? Apple aiming to connect with IBM. Okay.
Yeah, just a database thing.
Got it.
Boring.
All right.
Okay. So let's go to page 29. And here's an interesting article called The Decline of the Desktop Macintosh by Adrian Mello. It goes into great detail about the rise of the PowerBook and how powerful the PowerBooks are becoming, especially with these ones that are just announced that have built-in external video support. This idea that why would you have a desktop Mac when you could have this notebook, a PowerBook, that gives you nearly the power and gives you all the flexibility? And so he's making that argument 30 years ago that we didn't need desktop Macs anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're a journalist, as he obviously is, it's not like you're
right.
getting the computing power of like a graphics workstation from back then, or a industry server for like an entire building. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're giving up a little expandability for a lot of portability. And so he's making that argument that the laptops have come a long, long way, even back then to this point. And I remember back, and it's like, oh my gosh, it was. Yeah, they had, but
yeah,
it's not like today. But so we've been inching towards that, but still haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, I guess he saw the beginning of that. Okay, let's go to the feature article. All right. We're going to page 200. I did that thing where I hit the wrong key combination. All my windows disappeared. Okay. There it is. This is Apple's Dynamic Duo. Their laptops, their desktop Macs, they're both. Wow, what a cool idea that you could take your tiny little PowerBook and plug it into this docking station like a giant VCR and get access
to a bigger
ports.
hard drive, expansion slots. I was just showing. All right, so I told you I had some friends down from Alaska. We had to have a day playing in the arcade and up here in the Mac attic, and he was just totally enthralled with the Duo dock system. So
yeah, did you have it up and running?
No. I usually I would have to get the power strips turned on underneath the desk. All this stuff kind of eats power even if it's not being used. So I usually have it kind of hard powered down. So yeah, I didn't get him a chance to show him it like ejecting and everything, but because the other thing he was really like the portrait display really intrigued him, but Yeah.
They've
Anyway.
got this great graphic how the Duo system fits together. You can
Oh,
see
that's
all
awesome.
the, yeah, they have this sketch here, the schematic, and show all the different adapters and the mini docks and all the
I loved how
configurations.
the battery came out on the Duo too. How just that the bit slid and then it just popped right out of the front. Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Yep.
And then look at all the configurations here. You could configure from maximum portability at $2,500 all the way up to the full desktop system for $4,500,
Wow.
which includes your display, keyboard, mouse, everything you need. Yeah, kind of cool. All right. What's next? I want to go to page. I think you're next. I think I skipped you, actually. You wanted to talk about page 53.
All right. So yeah, I come across this. It's a compress even the largest images in record time with mirror quick. It is a JPEG accelerator card. Because QuickTime is using JPEGs now as part of its thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're kidding! A card just for JPEG, and that got me. All right, well, because it turns out JPEG had just been announced in
Mhm.
September of that year. So
Mhm.
at this point, JPEGs were basically 3 months old. Crazy, right? Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
this is December 1992 issue. So yeah, if you go to the Wikipedia page for JPEG, September of 1992 is when. So it just I find it so things you don't think about the fact that JPEG were brand new in 1992, and then there was a card specifically to make compressing them faster. Really great, really great.
Yeah. Of course, later they would. I mean, JPEG compression became almost like a thing you wanted to benchmark
Sure, sure,
against.
sure. Oh yeah, this
Um,
card was $600.
which could pay off handsomely once you, and especially you think about the 20 to 1
How much
space savings if you're dealing
space
with
you
huge
save? Right,
images.
sure.
Hmm.
You
And if
too
you can
can
deal with
ruin
the
your
compression.
images in 5 seconds or less.
um, let's see. Let's go to page 235. They have the 1992 Macintosh Game Hall of Fame. Um, and so they've got a couple of selections here. Best brain game, Word Tris. There's cousin of Tetris
Never
with
played it.
words.
I never played most of the games that they have in
Yeah,
here.
is that right?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Prince of Persia?
yeah.
That was a
I've
hot
never played
one.
Prince of Persia.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
a big time game. Sim Ant, of course, the offshoot of the Sim City series. I never played that, but I did play a lot of what's pictured
Oh,
there is the best
Spectre.
simulation game, Hellcats Over the Pacific.
Oh, you
Oh
played a
my
lot of that
gosh.
one?
Oh
Oh, okay.
yes, yes. Just
So I played a
flying
lot of
around the Pacific.
Spectre.
Yes, Spectre was the best network game. And then the best sports game, Tristan, which looks like a
Pinball. I
pinball
did. I
machine. I'm
do.
not sure
Yeah,
how
that's
that's a
great.
sports game.
Right. Yeah.
Is uh, is pinball that's a sport now or was? Was that is pinball in the Olympics? I don't know. Best strategy game, V for Victory. Did not play that. And best role playing game, Mission Thunderbolt. I don't remember that one. Cassidy
Mm-mm.
and Green game.
Oh, Cassidy and Green. Wow.
Yeah. And then
That close
LucasArts had the
or newer. Wow.
best adventure game, The Secret of Monkey Island. I remember reading about that one, but I did not play. So some cool old games here to explore if you want to. Okay, let's go to page 274. Our Menus 1.0 Apple Menu Enhancer. What were you thinking on this one?
Oh, so all right. So you know how every now and then somebody would come up with like a GUI interface thing, and they would have a
Mm-hmm.
piece of shareware or software, and then magically it would be incorporated into the following versions of the Apple system software. Um, I was wondering if this being able to do the drill down menus like they show here, where you can just hover over it and it brings up the next menu next to it, next menu next to it. So this was a program specifically for doing that. And like, is this the first instance of that? And is this one of those things where Apple liked the idea and
Uh-huh.
used the idea? I was just
Doesn't this
curious.
take it? This seems like it does a little bit more than that, because I mean, we're looking at a screenshot here, and it's got.
Well, yeah, but this one they went stupid crazy on purpose, right? Um, they're basically just showing that you're not going to run out of space to the right because it'll push
Go
the
back to the left and
to the
then keep.
left. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of sub menus there. Menus and more menus. That's absolutely correct. Well, that was $39.95 back then. And then there's the cordless Super Mouse. Oh, cordless Super Mouse, $9 from Xenix. So, and to this point, all our mice were tethered with a cord. And
Yeah,
this
and this
one,
thing looks bulky and beige, let me tell you. And yeah, just the fact that it had so all right, so it sounds like reading the description is that so it had batteries in it that would charge when you put them in the dock, but also sounded like there was another set of batteries that was charging at the same time. So
oh,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it's kind of if the Mac is switched off for extended period. Oh yeah, that's the other cool thing is the charger hooked up via the ADB, and so you don't need a separate power
Yeah,
jack for it. It
yeah.
just got its power to charge the batteries through ADB, which I don't know how slow that would be because it's not like a
Hmm.
ton of juice coming through that connector.
And you get a second button too while you're at it
Do you?
for those
Is
things.
that actually a second button? Okay, I didn't even
It
notice
sure
that
looks
one
like it. It's split down the
because I only
middle.
see the actual one shows an indent. Um,
There's kind of an indent on the right one. I think there's a little bit of a shadow. I mean, it's not
is there?
as much of an
Okay,
indent, but yeah, I think
all
that's
right,
a second button. It doesn't mention that in there. I don't know. Of course, there wasn't as much second button support back then, but it
true.
does look
Right,
like there is a second button there. Um, and
and
then
that
we'll,
was $100 for the cordless Super Mouse.
yeah, I'm not bad, really.
No,
Um, and then here, finally, on the later pages, take an omission from other screensavers. You want to talk about this
oh yeah,
weird
so
one?
I remember a couple of weeks ago, of course, we did the episode on After Dark. Well, this was
Mm-hmm.
the competitor,
Yeah.
and it actually kind of takes a little dig at them on the top there. Um, yeah, so or
What's the
dance with the
dig?
pigs or swim the fish or well at the very
Oh,
top it just says kind of disses other take an intermission from other screensavers.
I see.
And so, but I didn't realize that these are also the same people who did uh, like some of the they so that, so After Dark had Star Trek modules.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had a license for Star Wars. So there's they have Star Wars modules. If you look on, you can actually find them on Macintosh Garden. So I'm going to give these a try and see what their screensavers are and how they even if it's the Dancing with the Pigs one, see how they kind of compare to the After Dark ones.
Yeah, I don't
So that
remember
might be a fun
Dancing with the
future
Pigs.
episode. No,
I
so
remember
I
Flying
think that'd be
Toasters. I
right,
don't think
right.
Dancing with the Pigs ever caught on. Um,
So yeah, I'm gonna earmark this for a future episode is going on. We can do one on the other screensavers that
yeah, I'd
were
like to see that. They don't show us a
yeah
real. They
no
just have an illustration. I'd like to see
oh,
what the
right
actual
exactly
animation looks like.
yeah
Wow, gosh, between all the power books and the dancing pigs, there's a lot in this issue. So that was December 1992, Macworld Magazine. Of course, you can download this in PDF and a dozen other formats over at archive.org. Mm-mm.
so
Okay, yeah.
Patrick was we were talking about the second button. He was saying that he remembers software that would make the second button act as to hold down the control. And yeah, there's one I use on the TAM called 2B, number 2B. That works really nicely. So I'm actually using an Apple Next. I'm sorry, an Apple Next. I'm using a Next mouse, which of course has a second button on the
Mm-hmm.
TAM. And yeah, having the 2B so it acts as the control key works really nicely.
All right, let's get into the news. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Lots of news to talk about. There's still Apple Store. Excuse me. There's still Apple stores being opened from time to time. We don't really talk about it. It's not as exciting as it was back in the beginning, but there was one being opened in the American Dream Store, which I thought malls were going away, but I guess the malls that are
Do you want to
super huge
bag?
Yeah, they were giving away these bags. So it's kind of reminiscent of the bag we had in the eBay finds, right? It's just a canvas-looking bag with a logo on it. In this case, a stylized 6-color logo.
6-color, I love it. There's a really neat style too. It's kind of wavy lines. It looks like
Mm-hmm.
it's almost wrapping around in a way.
Yeah, like weaving around. So the Dream Mall's in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's the second largest mall in the country, behind, I guess, Mall of America in Minnesota. Cute looking bags. I don't know if you had to buy something or they just handed them out, but maybe you find these on eBay. But cool little collectible. I don't know if they're still doing the t-shirts. Maybe they switched to the bags. They used to do t-shirts, remember, years ago. We were talking about this little charger last time, from SharGeek, the SharGeek Retro. They've actually come out with another one recently that changes the display. The original one just had like a display that had different colors representing the charge state, or I think the amperage output or something like that. But the new one actually has a numeric display. There's a picture of it right there, and let's see. It's called. Well, let's see. What does it do? I'm trying to
it shows the
go
wattage
through here. Yeah, I think so. I think there's a little more information here on the display, and I think they're running an Indiegogo for this new one. But it looks like a little classic Mac. It's got some USB ports on the top. Looks really great on a desk if you've got an outlet that's horizontal, right, within view. So check out the SharGeek Retro 67, their latest model. OS 10 Daily has this article: run System 7 in a web browser with Infinite Mac. And we've seen a lot of these emulators running in a web browser window, and I couldn't remember if we had talked about this one. Let's run it right here. It's supposedly a Quadra. I don't remember the specific one. I don't remember if we've talked about it, they've refreshed it or something. But
yeah, I like the monitor bezel that they've got around it on the browser screen. Very neat.
Right. So you boot it up, and it's got some post-its on the desktop. Says, "Welcome to Infinite Macintosh, a project to have an easily browsable collection of classic Macintosh software from the comfort of a modern web browser. Browse around the Infinite HD to see what using a Mac in the mid-1990s was like." And there's a little instructions here, and there's a change log which shows some recent changes, and it says it supports networking. Says files can be shared between instances, and multiplayer games like Marathon, Bolo, and Strategic Conquest will also work.
I wonder if Patrick, if we both launch this, and if they have got Spectre on there, you might be able to experience Network Spectre through this. Oh, we're gonna have to try this. There's Marathon on there.
Marathon.
Interesting.
I don't see Spectre in the drive, but there's a lot of other games.
And maybe something we could ask the person who's doing this.
Yeah, this would be fun to experiment with.
Yeah.
I hesitate to run something without. Hey, there's Marathon running with sound, right?
Really interesting.
So far, I'm impressed.
Yeah, Patrick,
just getting that far.
This. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Of course, you have to worry about keyboard mapping and joystick mapping.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if it stores any information locally of if you you have like your own your own copy of the of it, or if it just resets back to default stuff every time you launch it.
Yeah. It looks like we could have adjusted our monitor resolution so we had more of the. I figure out my keys. There we go. Now if I can look up, I want to figure out the look up button. There. All right. There. Okay. Now we're moving. All right. Let's. Oh shoot!
Oh,
I got enemies.
It looks pretty responsive. Even me watching you
bad.
on the stream.
Oh, something's hitting me from behind. I can hear it.
Yes, I see the red dots behind you.
Yeah.
Well, we're definitely gonna have to check this out. Hang on a second. I will put the link for this in the chat here.
It seemed as responsive as the original one was. I can tell you that. Whoa. Anyway, well, that's fun. So yeah, Infinite Mac System 7 in the browser. All right. While we were gone, Dana at Nanoraptor didn't slow down. 1989's Macintosh SE/30L is remembered as one of Apple's biggest flops. Macworld criticized its rotated L display as, quote, bringing all of the issues and none of the benefits of a true L display, while MacWeek called it, quote, some kind of deranged P display nobody asked for. Yeah, bringing all the issues, none of the true benefits. Were there benefits of an L display? I don't know, but here it is. The SE30/L, which I guess combines a regular landscape with a portrait display. So you kind of get both, and they flow together. Very interesting design. I don't know why I didn't sell more.
As always.
Yeah. You can see also in that picture is a zip disk with an original Macintosh like OS install disk on a zip, which is cool. I wonder if the keyboard was extra wide. This isn't pictured with the keyboard. Would have been cool. Let's see a keyboard that extended the full width of this thing. It's great. And then you found this over on Autodesk Constructables, a 3D printed iMac G3 Mini, fully functional Hackintosh powered by an Intel NUC. So there's the 3D printed one next to a regular original. What's that, like a strawberry? Like a, yeah. And look at that little guy.
So this guy, it's instructable, and it's wonderfully laid out. It's got all the STL files for printing your own. Talks about all the steps he needed to do to get the Nook to fit in there. A couple of different things he had to try for sizes to get the Nook to fit, but to get the monitor to look nice. I don't know, so on the Nook also he's running Ventura, so he's Hackintoshed it. I don't know if he goes into the steps on that in here, but obviously there's going to be instructions out there somewhere on Hackintoshing the Nook. So, pretty nice.
Yeah, all the different parts really, there, and
all the different parts.
Yeah,
it even has so if you go scroll back the other way.
Okay.
So it shows that it's got the 3D part for the white plastic cowl that goes under the translucent
Yeah, this
bit.
thing right here.
So it's like a creation of all the all the vents and everything. It was a really
Yeah.
well done recreation, and then it's got 2 USB ports on the front where the optical drive tray would have been. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Neat. Including the
fantastic.
little foot, and I guess you can, of course you can do whatever color you want.
Right.
Here's
Right.
an
Right. Right.
example of a blueberry and a strawberry shells. And you got all your 3D parts list, and look at all that. I got all these pictures along the way of. Looks great.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Yeah. Wow. Nice. Nicely done. Okay. Well, over on Instructables, the fully functional Hackintosh. Okay. Boy, people have more time than I do to do such cool projects. I'm still looking at the pictures over here. So funny. So funny. Okay. Well, let's record a little outro in 3, 2, 1. Brings us to the end of another episode. We'll be around for a couple more weeks before the holidays, but John, you've already gotten into the Macintosh holiday spirit. I see you've got a ruby and a sage behind you.
No, a ruby and a lime.
Oh, it's a lime. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
lighter.
It's just from the angle.
Yes.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah, now I can see. Yeah. So you don't have a sage.
I do, but not out. I do have a
Oh.
sage. It's just
Oh.
the green looks nicer. Yeah.
And then some holiday displays. I think one of those 2 episodes we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I think next
decorating
week,
your Mac, decorating your classic Mac for the holidays.
So next week we're going to do the gift exchange ideas, right? Macintosh or whatever. So people have time to actually purchase things for the Mac person in their life. And then the week after that, we'll go ahead and do the how to deck the Mac.
Mm-hmm. Deck the Mac. I like it. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll be back next week for sure. We're not going to leave you hanging this next time. Of course, we attempt to stream this every Sunday, 8 a.m. Central, and we will, again, make a good attempt next week. Until then, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Okay. Thanks, Dave.
I'm trying to find.
It's good to be back.
Sharks mentions that
thanks.
He
Steve.
did a Photoshop himself and posted to check out the replies to the SC30L. Dana retweeted Charks' response where he did a Photoshop. Also, I'm trying to find what he did.
Oh. Do I need to look at that right now?
Yeah. You take a look. Yeah, because I don't have the link to that you showed for that particular one on Dana's.
Oh, you mean it's linked into what she had?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Like in the comments?
That's what. Yeah.
Oh, actually, there's a couple things. Let me show this on the screen again.
Yeah, you show that. I'm gonna go see if I can find that black and white manual.
Well, there's this one. This is cool. Showing what it would be like, so you could play your games and Portrait on one side and Scroll Netscape Navigator on the other. Oh, is this what I'm looking at? Oh, many programs were hard-coded for L-shaped displays. Oh, yes, look at that. Yes. TOG on L software design. And then they have the L edition of Macintosh C programming primer and the Macintosh Human L interface guidelines. Yeah, see, there was a whole lot behind this. All the publishers were getting behind the protocols of working with an L display, and yet still, the developers did not flock to it. Didn't catch on. Yeah, that's too bad. Too bad. What are you looking for, John?
Find it. I was going to see if I could find. Oh, well, here's a picture of that guy. The not Woz
the
guy.
Woz look alike. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
Woz. Yeah.
So I was
Okay.
just trying to.
So
see
wait.
Yeah.
Well, you got that. Fold
Yeah.
the cover back and look at the first page on the inside.
Yep.
Is it? It's
Okay.
like the same thing, black and white.
That's
Yeah.
it.
See,
Same
there you
picture,
go.
but in black and white. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. There you go.
All
right.
This guy's going to end up with a backache. Look at that. That is terrible ergonomics.
They always have the the worst ergonomics on those marketing photos. Where the people come in and they take photos, people that have never used a computer before, and they set the computer up in some stylized way. Reminds me of the advertisement of the Apple II, where the mom is sitting at a kitchen table and like the monitor is sitting next to the computer, and
right.
It's like an odd angle. There was a one with was it a Mac or a Lisa? The guy sitting on the floor and
oh gosh, right.
Using the mouse with on the wrong side or something weird.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I love how they hold mice in the 80s, which was they didn't know exactly what they were doing. Okay, well, we'll see everybody next week.
Boy.
And we'll close this out. We'll play a little music if I can find it. Play a little outro like this. Hey, there it is. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.